Hello, and welcome again to Saxophone Basics. My name is Alex Goff. Last time we learned about initial tone production and embouchure, and today we're going to learn the first four notes on saxophone. We'll be returning the mouthpiece to its rightful place on the neck, properly assembled with the reed lined up and all of that. Remember what we've talked about with proper embouchure formation? We want the teeth firmly on top of the mouthpiece, the bottom lip rolled over the teeth slightly, and equal pressure placed all around. Remember that we'll be using a nice warm airstream. And while we're on the subject of air, let's go ahead and talk about breathing. For breathing on the saxophone, you want to make sure that you're not breathing from your shoulders, but instead from your stomach. Your shoulders shouldn't move at all. This will ensure that we get a full amount of air with the least amount of tension, because tension will affect tone and response negatively. Now, a good saxophone tone, we said, will have the right mouthpiece pitch for the type of mouthpiece and the type of instrument that's being played. I'll be demonstrating again on tenor saxophone, so the mouthpiece pitch will be a G. Now, once you've adequately checked to see that your mouthpiece pitch is on target, place the mouthpiece back onto the instrument and bring the instrument up to the face to play. You want to make sure that your neck strap is adjusted so that the mouthpiece, when the instrument is brought up, the mouthpiece enters the mouth at a 90-degree angle. My neck strap is just a little bit too tight, so I'll go ahead and loosen it up. There, that's perfect. So now, using our concepts of embouchure and airstream, we'll play our first note without pressing down any keys. The note that we just played is C sharp. Typically that's not a note we'll start on, and it's not a note we'll use very often, especially at the beginning. So for right now, I'm going to teach you some finger combinations that will produce the notes we're looking for. The first note we'll learn is C. C on the tenor saxophone is fingered with only the right hand keys, pressing down only the middle finger. Your thumb will rest on this back thumb rest, partially on the octave key, this key right here that I'm moving with my thumb. Your middle finger will close this tone hole, and your other fingers will rest gently on the keys. This note should sound something like this. So that's the note C. The next note we'll learn is B. For B, again with only your left hand, you will press down only your first finger. You don't need to press down your thumb just yet, and none of the keys for the right hand. This is the note B. The next note, A, is fingered the same as B, but adding the middle finger. So now we have the first and the second finger of the left hand being pressed down. The next note, G, is done by pressing down all three of the fingers of the left hand. I want you to notice again, in case you're not quite getting out the same notes that I am, the hand position that I am using. You will notice the pearls. The pearls we'll be placing our fingers on are the first one here, the ring finger going on the middle one here, skipping over the little pearl, and the ring finger going here on the next one. The pinky will rest against this cluster of keys here, which will come in handy a little bit later. For left hand position, which will be important in later notes, we want to ensure that the thumb is in the thumb rest, right here, and that the fingers are resting lightly on these keys. The pearls are pretty easy on this one. Line up your index finger, then your middle finger, and then your ring finger on the pearls, and let your pinky rest against these two keys here. Now let's review some of the notes that we've learned today. We learned C. We learned B. We learned A. And G. And those will be the beginnings of our C major scale. That's all for this lesson. In our next lesson we'll talk about dynamics and articulation and how to control the sound that we're creating. Thanks again, and tune in next time.